Hey, folks, welcome to the Nurse Mark and the Green Nurse AFA Daily Dose,
where we bring hope and inspiration for growth and healing.
Today is Tuesday, November 24th. Happy birthday, Grammy. It's my grandmother's birthday.
Happy
And we're going to
birthday,
start off
Grandma.
with an AFA quote or meditation to remind you that you are AFA. So today, AFA was from Dr. Wayne Dyer. I love Dr. Wayne Dyer. He was really so super cool.
He was really
Wasn't he?
cool.
Wasn't he? And so his deal was today was a reminder that what you think is what you get.
There you go.
And he had a great little thing here. It was like, the mind is a powerful tool in creating health. It tells your body to produce the drugs it needs to keep you healthy. Give someone a sugar pill and convince them that it's an anti-arthritic drug, and that person's body will react to the placebo with the increased production of anti-arthritic energies. It's true, especially in healthcare. Sherry, how many times have you had, a patient say, "Oh, I do this every day and it works for me." And guess what? It worked for
Absolutely.
them. The example I gave this morning in the Daily Love was my great-grandfather lived to the ripe old age of 94. He ate a raw egg every morning out of a glass.
Ooh.
Crack, boom, in and down, right? Every single day.
Well, his
Never
habit.
remember him being sick.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
He was developing rituals and routines that made him feel good, and you believe in them, and then all of a sudden it starts to manifest for you.
He thought it worked for him, and it worked for him. He got pissed at the age of 87 because he was a carpenter. He was working on a roof and he fell off, and the guys would never let him get on the roof again. He was angry. But the egg worked for him. So what's your thing? What works for you?
Well, what works for me? Well, I have a lot of different things that work for me, but it truly, I'm going to tell you, this morning was truly about getting grounded, centered, mindful. So for today, it's truly about integrating. My word of the day is integration. And so integrating using the health and wellness tools that I have. So some of the tools, so one of the new tools that I got, I'm going to thank Carrie Lee for, and I'll show you guys tomorrow. I got a light box. Because I didn't realize too that my issues in the morning, I sometimes have rough mornings. I have issues with depression. And so mornings can be rough with me. So having the light box and learning about how light early in the morning can truly start to help you to feel a little bit better. Right? So that's one of
the cue, right?
Yes, the cue.
Sunlight on your skin.
Bring in the light, and and so the whole purpose is to have the light shining, do a meditation, get grounded, centered, and mindful, and to truly do the best you can. So one of the things I always like to tell patients, because I'm a patient, and I'm not living in the story of chronic illness, but I also have to remember I have a body, and I have to take care of it. That's one of the things I learned yesterday when I had that shamanic experience, is that we have this vessel. And it's, one of the things that came up in my experience was this. It was, I think I'm nobody if I don't have a body. Right? And so to experience consciousness outside your body was really fascinating. And coming back into it was, we have to take care of our bodies. We only have one. And, the tools, the spiritual tools of coming in to help the mental, emotional piece of ourselves, psychological piece, to make changes so we can integrate into our bodies to continue to heal and grow. How about you, Mark?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So today is Tuesday, November 24th. My favorite holiday is coming up in 2 days.
Awesome.
Here's the thing. I woke up this morning late, so I didn't get to do my meditation. I barely get to record my daily love, and then boom, here we are. And I'm, and it's because we have a beautiful cat here, lovely cat, Ursula, who's 18 years old now. And Ursula goes outside every night and meows at 3 a.m. And she is like, she's part Siamese, I swear to God. She's part Siamese. Everybody in the neighborhood has to hear her meow. So every night I'm up at 3 a.m. letting the cat in, and then I don't go back to sleep. And it's tough,
So what do you do from 3 a.m. on?
You know, you know how you say you get your depression the first thing in the morning? I wake up at 3 a.m. and I'm like thinking about all of the things that I did not get done the prior day, the things that I need to get done the coming day. And it becomes this overwhelming thing. So frankly, I just take a little bit of my CBD. I maybe meditate a little bit at that point, but I relax and I finally get back to sleep. And sometimes I'll even put something on the TV as background noise, you know, to chatter, to just kind of take away that monkey mind and let it go.
Right.
Anyway,
Right.
you know, here we are, we're back. The quote of the day, the meditation is, if you think it, if you focus your awareness on something, that is what you're going to get. So if you want to be healthy, manifest health. Think about healthy things, do healthy things. And here we are.
Start your day off with, you know, even a positive affirmation. You know, it's really hard to, I'm going to go back to patient point of view. When you wake up in the morning, you know, a lot of patients wake up in the morning and they don't feel good. I can identify with that, but you can change the mindset to do something different. So, you know, like the positive affirmations, what can we do right here, right now to change our thought process around not feeling good? You know, that's another key thing. And so truly the mindset, you know,
and it's not easy. You know, we blame ourselves a lot for stuff that's just automated. Like, we're automated machines. It really is physically in your brain. It's just circuits turning on and off, and they're neural pathways that get programmed over time based on inputs, right? It's really very much machine-like, right?
Machine-like, well-oiled machine.
It's just how you're wired at the particular time, and you just got to overcome that wiring and make new wiring, and that's so hard. So give yourself a break. You're doing the best you can.
Doing the best you can. Yes.
All right.
So I want to get back to really quickly to another thing that I always want to share with people too, is just because I use cannabis doesn't mean that I don't get traditional care.
Right.
So that's one of the things I'm doing today too, to take care of myself, is I go to see a pain doctor to get trigger point injections because I do have a chronic myofascial pain disorder. One of the things that I talk about too in some of my educational pieces is how when we turn to plant medicine, we can't ignore, even though we want to, a lot of us have pharmaceutical and medical trauma around the traditional system, but we can't ignore that part of ourselves that needs to be looked after by the traditional system. So I always, you know, and that's part of my story, is that I thought that the plant could do everything for me and I wouldn't need to do anything else, you know, except for the health and wellness tools. But truly, when our bodies get disrupted by something that we beyond control and it becomes unmanageable with plant medicine, truly do not delay healthcare at all.
Exactly. And I'll tell you, I grew up with grandparents who came from the Christian Science background. So they never went to the doctors, never used medication. There were a few times that they had to go to Western medicine. They had to do what they had to do to remain alive. Like, it was life or death, and they had to do it. So I say pull from all the disciplines what you need to do, right? You got to take care of this vessel. We got a question here from Kim Cavell.
Oh, sure. Hi, Kim.
You know, advice for people with epilepsy. That's a tough one because it's so complex. And
there's a lot of different types of epilepsy, a lot of different types of
it's
seizures.
Hard to say what to do other than
get a consultation.
Get a consultation with who's an expert in that field. And
so with epilepsy too, is that, you know, we're not just like looking at the epilepsy. So it's also everything else that you're doing and not doing in your life is important too. So looking at the medications you might be taking, what are the goals? What are the types of seizures that you're having? How does your traditional doctor work with you? And is your doctor open to cannabinoids? Because I actually, if you send me an email, info@greennursegroup.com, I have a whole handout on epilepsy.
It's info@thegreennurse.com. Sherry's had a few things going on.
info@thegreennurse.com. And I'll put it in the chat box. Mark will put it in.
Yeah, I will.
So, you know, basically with epilepsy, yes, it is very, very manageable, but I truly believe that it's manageable when you're managing it traditionally, plus with plant medicine. I actually went to Mass General and did a full-blown consultation with nurses and doctors on an epilepsy patient. And so it was really interesting just to see the different medications and the different cannabinoids that can mimic the medications. But it's truly something that you need to integrate using both traditional and a cannabinoid specialist, whether it be a cannabis nurse or a cannabis doctor, to integrate both. So definitely give us an email. I'll send you the handout. But today we have, our topic is Tidbit Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we're going to be focusing on terpenes really quick. So November, we're at the end of November, and November is Lung Cancer Awareness Month, right? So the topic of terpenes is really, I'll get into the Epidiolex in a minute, if we have a few minutes.
Yeah,
but
we have a few minutes. We got we're ripping it up. Kim, thanks for stopping by.
Yes.
We got 4 minutes, Sherry.
Okay, 4 minutes. So Tuesday, it's Lung Cancer Awareness Month. So as we all know, the plant has over 400 compounds, cannabinoids, and terpenes. Terpenes give cannabis its smell and its flavor, and they actually contribute to the entourage effect and have their own healing properties. So today we're going to talk about pinene. It's also known as alpha pinene, beta pinene, and it's the most encountered terpene in nature. That's the part that I like. You can find this.
Cannabis isn't the only plant that produces terpenes. It's throughout all plant world. It's all, and most plants have terpenes in them.
Yes, and alpha pinene is the most common terpene, which is interesting. So it's also found in evergreen trees, parsley, dill, basil, rosemary, sage, and eucalyptus. The part that I found,
have terpenes with my turkey. Because my son's having the turkey and he's got rosemary and sage on it.
There you go.
I'm getting my terpenes in Thanksgiving. Sorry.
That's awesome. And the part that's cool too is when you take terpenes and combine them with different cannabinoids, you can get a different effect. So this alpha pinene is a really, really powerful anti-inflammatory. So when you actually combine it with CBD, it intensifies the anti-inflammatory effect. Combined with THC, this is the one that I like the most. It's a bronchodilator. It opens up your airways, right? So there's a lot of patients, and how I've noticed alpha pinene to benefit me is definitely opening up my airways, and it increases alertness. So a lot of people with ADHD, so you get the open of the airways, the better air exchange, more oxygen to your brain.
Yep.
So I really, really like terpene. And then when you combine it, here's a really cool thing. When you combine CBD and CBN with pinene, it has a broad spectrum antibiotic properties, which has been shown to help patients with MRSA. Really cool.
Imagine that, MRSA. They fight that tooth and nail in the hospital and in facility environments because it's a terrible thing.
It's a terrible thing.
Not much is able to fight it. And here they find that cannabis has properties to fight MRSA.
Yep. One other thing with pinene before we wrap it up, pinene has also been known to help counteract any unwanted side effects of THC, such as anxiety and short-term memory loss. Because like I said, I do need high THC doses for my pain. However, in order to mitigate side effects of THC, because I need the THC, alpha pinene and CBD-rich products help me with that, which is great. So quick other benefits, one other benefit, euphoria. It can increase alertness, reduces oil production in the skin. How cool is that? And then anti-cancer properties to support other traditional therapies.
And so go ahead, Cherry.
Terpene Tuesday, alpha pinene.
So here's the thing with terpenes, folks. Here's the things with cannabis in general. It's been researched for 50 plus years, but we still don't know a lot about it. But don't worry about that, because most of the medications you take, we really don't know much about them either. Like, we know that they work, and they do studies, the placebo studies, randomized, double-blind placebo studies. They do studies on this stuff. They still don't know specifically how it works. They just know that it does, and that it's not going to produce side effects that are going to kill you. So then they say, okay, it's okay to take it. Cannabis is super safe. And the terpene thing, Sherry, you mentioned it, entourage. I saw a study a little bit ago about the entourage effect. We know there is an effect. We just don't know how it works. And so they did this study to say, does it work at the cannabinoid receptor level? Well, what they found out is no, only one, beta-caryophyllene, actually
CB2 receptors.
was at the CB2 receptor, and it was having an effect. That's the only one. The rest of them, they're like, we can't find any evidence of it working there, so it's working somewhere else in the body. Anyway,
yes. So the entourage effect,
we know
the
they
whole
work. We don't
of the
know what.
plant is greater than its individual parts. Whole
Yes.
plant medicine, right?
Yes.
So here we go. If you or someone you love is suffering from chronic pain or symptoms of chronic illness, and you want to learn how to incorporate plant medicine cannabinoids into your lifestyle, so whatever, managing symptoms, incorporating into your lifestyle, learning how to use this plant safely, reach out to us, www.thegreennurse.com.
Boom. Yeah. And if you're a nurse or a licensed healthcare professional looking for mentorship and community, we offer a unique skill set to teach clinicians how to meet and reach patients where they are in their journey to appropriately consult and educate on plant medicine and all of the tools that support the ECS.
Awesome, Mark. It's been a pleasure.
Very.
And remember, it's been a pleasure. I know I'm kind of spacey today. That shamanic journey still going through my head. I got to get grounded.
All right. Float away, babe. Float away.
All right. So here we go. So everyone, truly remember, it's about living your best life, helping others do the same, and
have an AF day, and see you all tomorrow.